we actually did a whole collaboration called For Women by Women, and it was all based on being women in the hip hop scene.
Do you get booked to like wrap Christmas presents or?
No. Not usually.
I can't dribble very well. I'm tall for nothing.
Yeah.
So you've been rapping for 20 years?
Yes.
That's how I want to know how long you've been. And how did it all start?
Oh man, well, cuz.
Cuz.
As you know, it started with cousins and my brother, Justin Knight.
Mills.
Mills. Remember that name? He actually goes by Justin Knight now.
Oh, does he?
He took the Mills away, so so he's still doing that again. He kind of quit for a while and now he started again.
Nice. He makes awesome beats.
Yeah, amazing. So yeah, we kind of just started as a group and then sort of broke off, as you age or start having kids and going to school or going to work somewhere else. It's kind of hard to like keep the crew together, right?
Did you have like a name for your crew?
Yeah, the Inner Soul Flow is what we were called. Yeah.
That's a good name.
Yeah, I'm kind of proud of it. ISF, we used to be like, ISF represent.
Indians are all about acronyms, hey?
Yeah. So, and most of us were cousins, so it was kind of like, we were like fam, but we were actually fam.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cardi B or Nicki Minaj?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go with Nicki.
Nicki, yeah, I like your style.
Yeah.
Our cousin Star says Cardi B.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, maybe she's just going for looks, but I go for like
depth.
Yeah, depth.
Same vein of question. T-Rhyme or Eekwol?
Oh man, T-Rhyme all the way.
Wow, crazy!
Yeah,
You're
that's
not
my
T-Rhyme?
girl.
That's
That
your
is
girl?
my girl.
You guys do shows together?
We do.
Collaborations? You did a song?
Yeah, we actually did a whole collaboration called For Women by Women, and it was all based on being women in the hip hop scene, and instead of trying to compete for that very small corner of the market that is Indigenous women in hip hop, we thought, why not just combine forces and like make something really amazing, and also talk back to the industry about what it's like to be a woman in hip hop who also happens to be Indigenous.
Nice.
Yeah, so we've been doing that, traveling around with that. We did that right up until maybe the end of August, but now we're both sort of back to our solo careers and doing our own thing, and so we wrapped up the project in a really good way, and we're still doing tracks together or whatever, but we're not traveling as much together.
That would have been super fun.
Yeah,
okay.
It was really fun.
Yeah, okay, so I have the next question kind of pertaining to that. Well, one of the questions was who's your favorite artist to collab with, and I guess maybe T-Rhyme?
T-Rhyme. The funny thing is, Justin Knight also collaborated with us on the project.
Beats and stuff like that?
So those two were my favorite. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well,
he did all the raps. No, just kidding. No, he wrote all our lyrics. No, just kidding.
For Women by Women,
This is for my girls.
Do you get booked to like wrap Christmas presents or?
No. Not usually.
Okay.
Do that for free.
You were answering this too about for women by women, but is there a lot of sexism in hip hop? Do you notice? Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like you turn on any hip hop video on YouTube or Vimeo or whatever. The mainstream, what you're gonna see is a lot of what you'd expect from hip hop in the history. Unfortunately, there's a lot of misogyny.
Yeah.
So even today, you put on the newest video by like whoever, and you're gonna see that. You're gonna see
women like
dancing,
objectified,
champagne.
the
Yeah,
lyrics
exactly.
referring to them in not very good ways.
Exactly.
Do you ever want to make up words for dudes, or is that even the same
kind
thing?
of.
Or?
It's like you can clap back a bit, but at the same time you have to like create your own like space, right? So I always say that women in hip hop have to either be like hardcore, like kind of thugged out, or like gangster,
right?
Or they have to be super hypersexualized,
like Nicki Minaj,
or Cardi B.
Yeah.
And to be fair, why I like Nicki Minaj is because back in the day she was like a solid rapper.
Yeah, she's super talented.
Just like from the street, just knew how to do it. Still does, but she sort of caught into the industry and they weaved her into that. You know, you want
This,
to make
like-
a lot of money, you want to be famous, and you got to do this. And,
Yeah. This is kind of a deeper question coming up here, and I'm going to have to read from the paper because it's kind of bigger.
Okay.
But for Indigenous culture, the drum is an important part of our tradition. And in hip hop culture, the drum is also an important part.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us about this connection and how it's impacted your approach to your art?
It's huge. It was actually, you know, it's really funny, Danny, because you were just a little guy in like soggy diapers when we were at your house.
They weren't soggy.
Yeah, they were like on the floor. So
Have a good
I was
mom.
like, I ain't taking those, no. But we were watching, your dad had like your satellite hooked up in
Right.
the living room, right?
Right, yeah,
It was,
everybody
like,
came over and
illegal
watched
and
satellite.
everything, you know? But we saw Rap City, and
Oh, yeah.
and we started watching Rap City, and I remember because I was, you know, younger, much younger, but I remember hearing like Souls of Mischief and like groups like that that weren't just like Young MC or like the mainstream ones that we'd hear in Canada. It was like those sort of underground ones, and just the way the beat sounded and how smooth the drum was, and I just knew right then and there, like this, I'm connecting here. Like this is something I want to do, and yeah, that's where it always stuck, you know.
Sweet. Kind of now going into another deep question, pretty deep. Maybe we should have gave this one ahead of time.
Okay.
But in our communities, there's a crisis right now with youth suicide. From your perspective, are there any ways to alleviate or combat this growing pressure on our youth? How do you see music fitting into this picture?
Oh, it's huge. You know, like young people relate to music. That's one thing. You know, headphones. You see headphones all the time, and you know, for a lot of us, that never ends. You know,
Yeah.
music is all emotion and spirit, and that's why we're so connected to it. And it's the suicide crisis. It stems from looking at like colonial history, right? There's no way that you can just say somebody's depressed and that's why. You got to go way back. You got to go through that intergenerational stuff. You know, there's so much more than just trying to prevent it right at the, you know, at the forefront. You got to look way back, and that means rethinking the whole education system and inputting that creative aspect, like right in there. You know, getting music and art and creativity like this, like what we're doing right now. This is creative this is resurgence right here. We're talking our truths in this creative way. This has to be embedded in the learning processes for all Indigenous, for everybody, you know, ideally for everybody. But I think that's where we're going to see changes when young people can think of more than just like sports and rec as being that out.
That outlet, yeah.
But
So what if you're not like me?
Yeah.
I couldn't throw a ball.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
And you're tall, so it's like you're on the basketball team. Then I don't want to.
I can't dribble very well.
Don't jump ball.
I'm tall for nothing.
Yeah.